No better way to start than with some errors. How great is that? Nice. Oh, now I've got some audio. Cool. Hey, hi, let's try that again. Hi, hello, welcome. I am Modern Synthesis, otherwise known as that Tyranid dude who makes all that Tyranid stuff. And this is part 3 of my 24-hour tile build challenge community event. It's not my event, it's HiveMarketMinis event. But I am participating because I think it's awesome. And yeah, I just figured I started streaming my progress before, so I'll just continue streaming my progress now. I actually cheated a little bit. I didn't want to do like a 15-minute stream or a half-hour stream. So yesterday I filled the mouth of this Tyranid breaching pod. It used to be like insulation foam inside, but I didn't want to sculpt onto that because I wanted a hard surface. So I got some smooth on called epoxy dough or something like that. It's like air drying 2-part, but it's really weird. It's super light, but it's also super hard. Stream alive? Stream's alive. Yeah, so this is what I got in here. So I slopped that in there. I also drove these pins through. So I got the heads of the pins up here. I bent them over, and then I affixed them with a very scientific mix of super glue and baking soda. So there's 3 pins there, and then they come down through here. And the idea there is that I want the breaching pod to be affixed to the base, not to the back wall. So these kind of sort of fit in here. If I twerk, oh man. Swear these worked better before I put the putty in. Okay, there we go. So I put some holes in there so that the breaching pod can attach to the base and be part of the base, but I'm not thrilled about the angle. I kind of want it to be, like right now it's kind of on a very flat angle, which is cool because then you can see inside the mouth. But I kind of want it to be like more angled up, but I don't know. So what I'm gonna do in this part, did I start the timer? No, I haven't started the timer. Ready? Let's start the timer. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Go. We're counting down. All right, we're into this is like hour 9, partway through hour 9. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do today is put a bunch of detail onto this, but I gotta, of course, wait for it to dry. So I'll probably detail the top of it, and then I'll let that dry, and I'll go and work on the back wall while I'm doing that, and then I'll come and I'll detail the bottom of it. Of course, the bottom that no one's gonna see, but whatever. But I was thinking of starting in the mouth to get myself warmed up, because when I'm sculpting on the back, I'm very unlikely to shove my finger in the mouth and ruin the sculpting I just did. That's a key sculpting tip. If you're happy with something, stop sculpting because you're going to shove your fingers in it. So yeah, I thought I could do the mouth. And then once that's done, go to the top. I feel like I'm just going to rinse this though, because it's got some like, I don't know if it's baking soda or what it is on it. So I'm going to go do that. And I got my be right back sign, but there's probably no one here anyway. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, and if you hear any clicking in the background, that's me. I'm lapsing all of this. I don't know how interesting it's going to be to watch, but we're going to have it for posterity. So I'm not going to be working on this. I'm going to be working on this. I want the camera closer to me. Let's see if we can make that work. I don't know. Whatever. All right, putty. Don't. I've got some clay here, epoxy clay, but I feel like I want epoxy sculpt for this. So why don't I continue on as I have been doing and take a break and go get some epoxy sculpt out of the studio. Fantastic. This will get started very soon. Okay, I'm gonna pause the time. Stop. Okay. Swear we'll get rolling. Proper rolling. All right. Ready to roll. So we're gonna do some proper big sculpting here. So we're gonna need some proper big material and some proper big tools. Okay. If you've been following my channel for a while, you have probably heard me mention epoxy sculpt before. If you're new, this is what you're going to want to learn about. This is a two-part epoxy putty that is made in the United States, available internationally, but it's cheaper in the United States and Canada, I think. It is similar to Magic Sculpt. If you've ever encountered Magic Sculpt before, I've never used Magic Sculpt, but people tell me it's similar. And as you can notice here, it comes, you can buy it in really large quantities. This is 2 pounds, 2 pounds, so 4 pounds together. I think that's how it works. Part A, part B. And it has like the, oh shit. Okay. So it has the similar properties to Neatite green stuff that we use. It's not as rubbery as green stuff, but it is harder than green stuff. Like it's more kind of like sandable, cuttable, carvable. Which is nice because green stuff, the rubberiness can get in trouble if you try and file it. The best part about it is that you can combine it with green stuff. But it takes detail pretty well on its own. So like if you look at the work that I've already done on the tile here with these tentacles, I did that out of a different version of this stuff. This is epoxy sculpt. I did that out of epoxy with an A. Clay, which is just a different material. It's a little harder. Not harder to use, but sets harder. And it's good for like reinforcing things and support structures and whatnot. That's why I used it. But I'm using this because it's I've got so much of it, and I'm going to be sculpting this giant thing. So if I was going to use green stuff on that, that would use a lot of green stuff. Yeah, and it's much cheaper by volume than green stuff. That's what we're going to do. And because I'm going to be mixing a lot of this stuff, I'm going to get some gloves on. Unlike green stuff, the epoxy sculpt has like a film that comes off of it, kind of like a silt. You're first working it goes away after a while, but can get a little messy to begin with. Speaking of which, I should put my apron. Hobby apron, one hobby gross rag, or sopping up silt. I bought this thing. I thought it would be good for like big sculpting. Never actually used it. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna wet my tool. So part A, B. Oh, that stuff smells strongly. Someone told me their dog loves the smell of epoxy sculpt because it smells kind of like chicken wings or something. This thing's not hard enough. I need a metal tool. Digging out putty tool. Let's use. I'm just sculpting the mouth. I don't need to take out too much. I got to remind myself of that. Pretty big, but not huge. I'm excited to sculpt on this thing because I haven't just sculpted pure Tyranid terrain from scratch in a long time. And I find it very eventful, the wrong word. There's a cool vibe to the process. So getting roughly the same amount of the part A and the part B. We've got slightly more of the B than A. Yeah, let's get a little more A. Thereabouts. Gurai. Get this stuff out of here. We'll need more later. Just like when you're mixing green stuff, make sure that you lubricate your tools. And in this case, my tools are my hands because I'm going to be mixing this by hand. So I'm going to get a little bit of water on my hands there so it doesn't stick to me too much, and just go to town. So in terms of working with this stuff, it's kind of like plasticine. I feel like when you like the texture is somewhat like plasticine, except a little softer when you're working with it, but it doesn't have any of the annoying oil stuff that plasticine has going on. So I'm just going to mix that up. Of course, it's picking up the paint on my gloves. That's fun. Oh, well, it'll be fine. People have found that when you first mix up epoxy sculpt, it's softer than after you let it set for a bit. So if you mix it up and you find it's too soft, just like give it a few, like I'd say about 20 or 30 minutes, and then start working with it, and it's a little harder. It's got a similar work time to green stuff that you can work with it for about 2 hours, I'd guess. Oh my God, there's 5 views. There are actually people watching this. I cannot believe that. At 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. If you're viewing right now, send me a hi in the chat so I know you're out there. Oh, generic is there. Oh, generic. Thanks for being the first comment on this this here little streamy. Do you have to buy part A and part B of epoxy skull in two separate tubs, or can you get them together if you get what I mean? So when you buy them, that's a very good question. When you buy them, they come together. Like they come in two separate tubs, but no one in their right mind would sell them separately because you need both. So it'll come like this and it'll be shrink wrapped together with a part A and a part B, shrink wrapped together. Even with the smaller ones, they'll have two separate ones, part A, part B, shrink wrapped together. You don't ever want them to be in the same container because then they would start to make each other set, which is why you don't ever want to buy green stuff in a tape because it's already setting. So yeah, they always come together, shrink wrapped together, but in separate containers. Is that what you mean? Does that answer your question? I think that's what you're getting at. But they have different sizes. You don't have to buy like the 4 pound. You can get like a quarter. I don't know how the empiric system works. You can get like hi Silent 142. Good to see you're out there. You can get like the a quarter pound or a half pound or something like that, or there's a version with 1 pound. But those two tubs, when I bought them together, they were about $50. I think the price has probably gone up because I bought them years ago. But yeah, they're not very expensive considering how much material you get. And if you're doing scenery sculpting, it's amazing to have this much because you can sculpt stuff like these crazy tentacles all over the place that would make that would be like a whole package of green stuff, but that's just like part of a package of epoxy clay. You decide to go and buy some epoxy sculpt from Aves directly. The company is called Aves, Aves, like the birds. They're US based. You can buy stuff from their website. Let them know that Modern Synthesis sent you because I am in contact with someone at Epoxy Sculpt and they have very graciously sent me some like little samples and stuff like that, but we don't have a larger relationship, and I would be happy to have a larger relationship with them as whenever I get a chance, I try and tell everyone in the hobby community about Epoxy Sculpt because I think it's amazing. Cheap, cheerful, very effective. I'm just gonna get crap on my mind. Accept that. Got some milky tea here. Nora's original concoction of hojicha and Yorkshire Gold tea bags. Oh, 3 p.m. Awesome. Whereabouts are you, generic? Is that like Eastern Europe-ish? Right, do I not? I'm worried that I don't have enough putty to fill this, but I guess I just got to go for it. It's going to be very hard to show on video, but something out. In fact, I may even lose my gloves and start doing this by hand because sometimes it's easier to move the stuff around by hand. Yeah, I got it mixed. What the hell? From the UK. Okay. Well, welcome. So now that it's fully mixed, it's not creating as much silt. Generic. I think Flinhammer found a good source for epoxy sculpt in the UK. I'm not sure where it is, but if you're on Instagram, you can message Flinhammer and ask him. But I do know that like you can get Magic Sculpt in Europe / the UK because they're not the same thing anymore, right? I'm not a supporter of Brexit. All my friends got screwed over by Brexit. I'm not a supporter. Make that clear. Yeah, so you can get Magic Sculpt easily in Europe. I don't know if it's as cheap as Epoxy Sculpt, but you can get Epoxy Sculpt. There are retailers. You don't have to get it from Amazon. I think there are people who sell it on Amazon, but it tends to be pretty expensive on there. And I know for a fact the manufacturer doesn't like it when people are selling their product on Amazon, but whatever. So slight downside here, I'm sculpting onto foam that's been covered with this kind of like hard putty, but it still yields a bit and it cracks. Like it's cracking here. Not great. Oh well. What does the inside of a Tyranid breaching pod look like? Horrible mouth. Probably the best way to approach it. I'm just wetting my fingers here and using them as sculpting tools because they work pretty well. Hmm. Definitely need more putty, that's for sure. Okay. Need like twice as much putty as I grabbed. Interesting. It's rarely an issue I have. I usually grab way too much. Oh, fun tip in case you haven't seen this one from me yet. If you grab too much putty and you mix it up and you're like, that is too much putty, take it, put it in your freezer almost immediately, like as soon as you realize that you've got too much, and it will keep for at least a day. You can keep using it. You can pop it out in a couple hours and it's pretty good still. And maybe as long as 2 days, but then the workability starts dropping around that time. But it's a good way to save your green stuff if you've mixed too much, but you're working on a project over a couple of days or over many hours, like I am. If I had too much putty here, I could just like put it in my freezer, save it for later. So just give you an idea of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of getting some like, I guess like valleys or trenches carved in there. It's not a perfect science, but figuring it out as I go. I'm kind of letting the putty like direct me, like what I can get at, what I can get out of it. I was just thinking it's not a mouth because it doesn't have a tongue, and then I'm like, oh god, I could put up like a monstrous tongue coming out of this thing. I don't know if I want to do that, but it could be like a ramp, like a gross tongue ramp. Oh man, I don't know. I'm like 50-50. Part of me wants to do it, part of me doesn't, because it's going to be sitting up on this pedestal up above stuff. I guess if I did a tongue, it would cover these tentacles, which would not be great. Some food for thought. Not sure if I will invest in any yet. I don't enough time to do much sculpting. Also, don't worry, not a Brexit geezer. Okay, I'm glad you're not a Brexit geezer. I feel like most people are not Brexit geezers, especially anyone in the hobby who ever has to buy anything from Europe. If they were a Brexit geezer, they very quickly become a non-Brexit geezer as soon as they get charged duty from Europe. They're like, what the hell is this? Brexit was a lie. Yeah, just like keep it in mind. Like if you ever decide that you want to do like a big terrain sculpting project or something like that, or like a larger, like if you're into Tyranids or chaos, like a big demon or a big monstrous creature or something like that, or anything for Age of Sigmar, epoxy putty is a really good way. If you're ever like, man, I wanna make something and I need a lot more green stuff, don't buy green stuff. Buy epoxy putty. It'll be way cheaper, better for your purposes. I think I need a bigger hand bucket. Hand bucket's very small for this kind of work. Also, oh, there's that tool. Trying to do some connective tissue here, sides of the mouth. I got bits that I wanted to shove in here from the Tyrannocyte, but maybe I should have shoved them in now so that the putty holds them. Thought they might get in my way, but maybe they'd be helpful. I like not membranes. What's the word I'm looking for? That one goes right up against that one. Connective tissue, ligaments. Is that the thing I'm looking for? Ligaments, sides. What the hell? Let's incorporate them. If I don't incorporate them at some stage, it might be harder to put them in after. So we're going to do it. This one kind of hides that pin, which is cool. Sure, if I want to use, okay, other tip, if you're new to the channel, Nivea, your best friend for sculpting. It will change your life. Here's my sticker. It puts the lotion on its tools. Puts the lotion on the tool. It puts the lotion on its tools or gets the hose again. This stuff is like water for lubrication, except for it sticks around on your tools a lot longer. It is water-based. You do not have to wash your models after you sculpt with this. You do not have to wash your models after. I did a whole video where I tested it, where I put Nivea on some stuff. I didn't wash it. I put some Vaseline on some stuff. I lubricated with some water. And then I spray prime them all. And proof that you do not have to wash your models after. But Nivea on for sculpting. It's such a good lubricant for sculpting. So if you're wondering about that video, you can find it on my channel. Just look up on my channel, and I think it's called like Sculpting with Nivea or something like that. It's in my How to Sculpt tutorials playlist. Where you can. Well, honestly, I tell people to use it, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, I'll try it." And like everyone gives me the same feedback. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Nivea has changed my life." So don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. Yeah, these bits that I've put in the cheeks here, they're from a Tyrannocyte. I think they're the parts that hold like the different plates open. So if you ever need monstrously large Tyranid mouth parts or other membrane parts, grab them from the Tyrannocyte. I need a little more putty to cement those in. So yeah, tip number 1 is Nivea. Tip number 2 is silicone brushes. This is a silicone sculpting tool I'm using here. You can see how wiggly it is. It's a Royal Sovereign. The brand is Royal Sovereign. Where's my focus? There's my focus. You can get these for cheap on Amazon, and you'll get cheap Amazon results. If you spring for the Royal Sovereign ones, they're going to be like, in Canada, they're like $20 or $25 per brush. That might seem expensive, but they're seriously going to help you with your sculpting. So I'd say it's a good investment. Like people spend like $25 a brush for a Polinsky Sable, whatever Series 7 Winsor Newton brush. These are the Winsor Newton brushes of sculpting, the Royal Sovereign color shapers. You don't have to get one this big. You can get smaller ones. but they literally are like paintbrushes for putty. That you get one of these suckers, you put some Nivea on there, and you're just gonna like paint that putty like it was paint. It's gonna be amazing. T. Okay. Piece. Where's my other one? I'm gonna mesh this putty with the roof of the mouth. Keep calling it a mouth. That's a little creepy, but that's the vibe I'm going for. I'm not pressing too hard here because I have like a foam backing. And when I press too hard, the like thin layer of stuff I put on the foam backing starts to crack, but not too bad. As I put this epoxy sculpt on it, it's just going to get stronger and have less and less problems with that backing. What I usually use epoxy sculpt for when I'm not sculpting something this large is I will mix it 1-to-1 with green stuff. If you ever see me sculpt anything with green stuff, it's not green stuff. It's a 1-to-1 mix of green stuff and epoxy putty. I almost never sculpt with pure green stuff. Only doing so when I know that I'm sculpting something that's if I'm sculpting a bit that's gonna like stick out from the model and might get, oh shit, I gotta check on my tomatoes. Sorry, yeah. So one of the benefits of green stuff is that it's very rubbery. So if I'm sculpting something that's going to stick out from a model, I'll make it out of pure green stuff because then it's more likely to bend than break. But I don't do that very often. Yeah, because when you combine green stuff and epoxy sculpt, you get the best of both worlds. It gets a little bit of the rubbery texture of green stuff, just a little bit, but it also gets a little bit harder, which seems counterintuitive. It's rubbery and harder at the same time because the epoxy putty makes it harder, more sturdy. And also, like I said before, the epoxy putty is cheaper. So you can extend your green stuff. Have a one package of green stuff serve you for longer when you're mixing it with a package of much cheaper epoxy sculpt. Out of here. Just hidden stuff. All right, so now I'm meshing in those mouthy membranes. Column. Making sure they're well seated. They don't pop out. Need a little more on the back, or do I just need to sculpt it? See, one of my pins is just behind this piece, so I can incorporate it and hide it. So I'm going to hide the other pins in the mouth here by doing similar like membranes stretching. And then behind is going to be doozy. So yeah, I keep my Nivea on the back of my hand. Just put a bit on the tool. You don't need a ton. Just kind of put a layer of oil on there, or I guess not oil, but lubricant, barrier, whatever. There will come times when you're using the silicone sculpting tools and you're like, I need more leverage than this thing provides. You can buy silicone sculpting tools that are harder rubber. So the softest ones are white. I think the softest ones are white. And then there's like a light gray, which is harder. And then there's a black, which is the hardest rubber. So if you want like harder or tougher material, like with more resistance, but still a little bit of give, you can go with the darker gray or you can go with the black. They all cost the same. Not like one's more expensive. They're all similarly expensive, I guess is the word for it. But honestly, I've seen them like cheap silicone shapers on Amazon. I've bought them to test them out because I always want to be able to recommend people to the best tools, and I have been disappointed with the results when I use the cheapo Amazon tools. So I don't want to recommend them to people because you're going to get one and you're going to try and use it, and it's going to be like a wiggly noodle, and you're going to be like, "What the hell? Why did that modern synthesis guy tell me to use this? This is crap." But it's because you're not using the right thing. Well, may frustrate you. It certainly frustrated me. People to be frustrated. Oh yeah, these have numbers on them. So this is like a 6. That's the size. The ones I usually use are, I think it's a 0 or a 1. Kind of like with brushes, you know, like the brushes have different size numbers on them. These guys have the same thing. So yeah, size 6 is very large, but normally used for sculpting. Put some little detailies in here. Here's my ball burnisher. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh, here we go. Here's another silicone shaper, smaller. Putting suggestion of like tendons and stuff in here, I think. I'm trying for. Stretch skin. Okay, I think that pin is well enough hidden back there. Conceivably be a bit of tendon or whatever the heck this stuff is. Connective tissue. All right, don't get obsessive. What's going on in the chat? Is it gonna work like magic up that you put it on the table and the Norn emissary pops out? So I'll have like, yeah, this is basically gonna be the thing that pops out the Norn emissary. Sorry, that was a chat from a while ago. So I want to do. I still have my Leviathan box Tyranids to paint. I'm leaning towards ladybugs. Ladybugs, that's pretty cool. I saw someone on Instagram who does their Tyranids. I think they're called High Fleet Monarch, and they paint them like monarch butterflies, which you wouldn't think would be that impressive, but they're very impressive. Like there's some really cool conversions there. They did a Zone that's amazing. Really, really cool. They like it was weird before the Neurotyrant came out. They basically did like a Neurotyrant crest on their Zoanthrope. Very much like leading the way, reading Games Workshop's mind, getting at it before Games Workshop released it. I loved it. So yeah, check out. I think they're called High Fleet Monarch. Maybe that's the hashtag, like Monarch Butterfly, for maybe inspiration for how to handle a ladybug scheme in a way that would still look like I don't know, badass and awesome. Or maybe you're fine. Maybe you've already got your ladybug scheme figured. Don't need any advice. But if you want to check it out, I would highly recommend checking out HiveMarketMinis. I hope that's what they're called. The username might be different. Hopefully it's something like you found that way. Actually, if you go over to the Warp Shadow account, just if you're on Instagram, look up at Warp Shadow. I think we've shared one of their Tyranids from that Hive fleet. And then if we had, we will have tagged the creator. Right, so that's pretty good. I'm just gonna like continue there's like this pattern here of like these divots. I'm gonna continue that pattern down here to make it look like it's all one big happy family. So that's where we're get a close up on this. That's where we are right now, meshing that in with the rest of it. There's one creepy cheek. Need to remind myself that the stuff in the back is not really going to get seen that much, especially the stuff up top, because this is going to be like this, but whatever. Leave it to me to take a challenge to make a inorganic imperial piece of inorganic imperial scenery and turn it into a Tyranid thing. I swear I do stuff that isn't Tyranids. I think there are people who think that like I only do Tyranids. But you go far enough back on my Instagram profile, you will see that I had a strong Dark Eldar phase when I did Homunculus Coven. I had a strong Kroot phase where I did Tyranid hunting Kroots. I had a Gene Stealer cult phase where similarly I did a Gene Stealer cult who I didn't really develop that part of the fluff, but is kind of hunting Tyranids. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff is linked to Tyranids. The Homunculus Coven, not so much, but the other stuff. Yeah, actually, if you go to my profile on Instagram, in my profile description, I have the project hashtags that I created for my different armies. Something that I highly recommend doing. It used to be more effective on Instagram than it is now because Instagram's been like weird with their hashtags and how useful they are. But yeah, if you're making a project, if you're making an army, create a hashtag, like one that you like search the hashtag first and make sure no one else is using it. And then or just like make a variation on an existing one. But yeah, and then it's really cool because you can uh keep all your progress on that force under that hashtag. And then if people want to find your miniatures, they can find them under the hashtag. So I have like my Tyranids are Hive Fleet Angerboda, who's like a Norse is she a frost giant? I don't know. Some kind of Norse monster. So that's my hashtag for my Tyranids. And then I have a separate hashtag for my Tyranid kill team, which is the Viridian Stalkers, you know, like Pokemon Viridian City. So the Viridian Stalkers. And then for my Gene Stealer cult, I think it's Omega Strain. I thought maybe it was the Omega Strain, but it's just Omega Strain. So that's my Gene Stealer cult. And then for my Homunculus, the only problem with the Gene Stealer cult is that that's like some people use that for like cannabis or something. There's some strain of cannabis that may be called the Omega strain or something. So you get a little bit of that. And there's also like a silent, wait, no. What's that thing that's like Metal Gear Solid ripoff? Anyway, there's a game of that that is called the Omega strain. So that comes up too. But otherwise, it's mostly my Gene Stealer cult. Yeah, so I highly recommend creating hashtags for your projects, for your armies, and then keeping using those because it's a cool way to organize your stuff. And if people like your stuff, it's a cool way for them to find your stuff. What did I get on that topic? Oh, because I was talking about how I don't just do Tyranids. I swear I don't just do Tyranids. There will be a day when I go back to Dark Eldar. Mark my words. I'm just getting obsessed sculpting weird connective tissue in here. What I'm going to do for the rest of the 24 hours. I'm just going to sculpt connective tissue. Looking good, though. Happy. I'm upset about how it's... God, it's like, telling you, epoxy sculpt. Need it in your life. Oh, wait. Let's adjust my situation. Oh, sorry, that doesn't work very well. There we go. Getting some gross connectivity up in there. That's not what I want. Oh, should I do the cheeky thing where do the lens through the light? Oh, fuck. Breaking everything. I've got a really janky setup here. I should post a picture of my setup on Instagram for anyone who is wondering, because it is janktastic. I have this Fancy Dan Redgrass Games light that has a gap in the middle. So if I align the camera just perfectly, it can shoot through the gap, and then I can adjust the two light. So on either okay, that's good enough. Good enough. And then when I do stuff like this, oh look, you have so much light. Oh, amazing. It's like I'm a professional. Oh, there's folks. Hello, Trevor Libert. Not gonna lie, the cheap ones I bought, I struggle to use, but I can't tell if it's just me being inexperienced with the tools themselves. Generic, if you're talking about cheap silicone shapers, it's probably the tools. I would recommend you don't buy like a whole bunch of the expensive ones. Buy like a couple and try them out and see the difference. And just buy like the zero size ones, like the cheap small ones. So I would highly recommend getting one. If you're just going to buy a couple silicone shapers, a flat one like this, like a chisel, is pretty good, because if you want to get like flat surfaces, you just lube this up and you just like put the flat of the chisel on them and you can kind of smooth them. So something like that. And then something tapered like this. The two of those you can do a lot with. This is just like a cone. It's just a tapered cone. And then I really like this one, which is kind of like a scoop head. It's like, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a divot. There's a divot right there. See it? I think that these three tools are pretty solid. If you were to just get like, if you're just going to get one, just get like this one, or just get like this one from the expensive batch. But if you can spring for three, these three can get you pretty far in terms of tools. And yeah, just get them in the zero size. Oh, actually here, I have, are these ones? These are twos. So I have the cup, I think it's called a cup tool, and a chisel tool, or yeah, flat chisel, cup round. Oh, look, they have names. How nice. So these are twos, so they're slightly larger, but I usually use zeros, which are smaller than this. Do I have one here? Where's my toolbox? Because I'm a multitasker, I'm also stewing tomatoes while I'm doing this. All right, so here we go. These are the zeros. So, oh, here we go. We got flat chisel in 6. Got a flat chisel in 2. We got a flat chisel. This one's black, but in 0. Extra firm is what they call it. So that's 0, 2, and 6 size. 0 is what I normally use. And this is the the extra firm. So like this one here, you can see a bit of wiggle there. That's the normal. The extra firm, I don't know that you can really see that, but it's a little firmer, not super firm. But there you go. Now I've got way too many tools here. Get my finger in there. Let's feel the epoxy putty starting to firm up. Not a lot, just a little. It's getting that. Like I said, if you want it to be less soft, you just wait a couple, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it'll get resistant. Not gonna lie, when I first put this stuff in here, I'm like, how am I gonna do this? But it's coming together. Didn't doubt my ability, I just doubted my vision. Do I know where I'm gonna put what? But just started putting some like crevices in there or whatever, and the putty showed me the way. Putty was like, this is the way. I would tell you to buy this tool, but you have to be in Germany. For some reason, Royal Sovereign does not make a bullet tip on their shapers, and I hate it. But fortunately, I have a lovely friend in Germany, Hydra, and he literally sends me a bag of these things. So I gotta like give some more away. This is a number 2, but the bullet end on this is just like perfect for organic stuff. I can't really explain why. This has got a bit of a tip on it, but like the bullety, tapery kind of thing is just a really great shape for use. And I don't know why Royal Sovereign doesn't come with this tip. The closest they come is like this, which you wouldn't think is that much different, but it is very different. Just the lack of like the roundedness there. I don't know. Whatever. I love this tool. I've gotten many, like, if you put silicone on super glue, it's dead. So I've like shoved this in super glue before, and then I had to go to Hydra with my tail between legs, being like, hey, Hydra, can you send me another silicone shaper? So I think that's where he got frustrated. He's like, I'm just going to send you a bunch, okay? I'm going to send you a whole bag full of silicone shapers, and you just need to take care of them. So I'm just kidding. He didn't get frustrated. He helped me out. But I think on his end, he's like, I'm just going to give you a bunch, because apparently you cannot take good care of your tools. So I've been more careful since then, but they're fantastic. Okay, I need to keep moving. I'm obsessing in this one area, and it is not going to help me. All right, so that connective tissue is more or less in. I'm not thrilled with the top, but like I just said, no one's going to see the top, so it's fine. Got to get this side in. So I just kind of shoved it up into this putty that I had above, because like I said, it's backed by foam and easily breakable. Nivea on my tool. Get my finger in there. Sometimes your finger is your best silicone shaper, especially when you're working at large scales. If I ever get to the back of this thing and doing the carapace armor plating on the back, you will see that it is almost exclusively sculpted with my finger. Well, it's roughed in. The shape is roughed in with, I rough in the shape with my finger, and then I go back and sculpt the plate detail. Getting tricky. I just realized that this project could double for a Nidvember project. Tyranid community on Instagram is doing Nidvember. The theme this year is non-combat Tyranids, so the kind of like Tyranid organisms that are used to like help digest a planet, that kind of thing. So this could be like a delivery pod for some organism or something. Definitely non-combat. I mean, it might have some gribbly bits at the front to bore into a ship, as it's supposed to be a Tyranid breaching pod, but other than that, it could qualify as non-combat. This is going pretty well. Pretty happy here. Although I do feel I need to put some putty here because this part is too much exposed foam for my liking. Let's get some more of that epoxy. What's going on in the chat? When I read like 2 comments and then I go distracted and go back to sculpting. Sorry. I do appreciate people commenting in the chat. Thank you so much. I will dip in and dip out of the chat as I work. Hopefully that's okay. So what do we got? We're talking about the cheap ones. Silent124 found Fun42 found the Instagram. That's good. Oh, Trevor, you were asking for inside close to the camera. So I did show it before, but here's another look at it. So I'm going to sculpt like more tendons on those pins in the back. These 2 side portions are stolen from Tyrannocytes. There's that side. I'm working on this side now. It's not really anything yet. Okay. Right, I was putting this stuff on here. What else? What else? What else? So that was Trevor. I can't put my finger on what its body shape looks like. Maybe way puffed up Biotitan. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll become more clear as I get through it. It is kind of like teardrop shaped. Like I've always pictured, with help from Navarro. Is it Navarro Bugman on Instagram or something? Navarro was one of the first ones to come up with a really cool design for a Tyranid mycetic spore, and I fully took that and ripped it off and innovated on it. So my view for it is the bottom is like ribbed, like a Tyranid would be, and the top is like a carapace plate. I've done these before for my infestation of Cassavant Prime table build. If you go on Google and you just look up infestation of Cassavant, Casavant Prime, infestation of Cassavant Prime. That's our Tyranid table that won best table at Games Day Toronto in 2008. That's where I did these for the first time, and I was really happy with them. But I haven't sculpted one in like more than a decade, probably. I don't know. So it's gonna be interesting to see how I innovate on it this time. But this just works so much better for me than the Tyrannocyte vibe. The Tyrannocyte has grown on me over the years, but it's, I don't know, it just feels like a big blob, like a big sack. It doesn't look very aerodynamic. Whereas something like this is the tail, and like this is the front, and it's like shooting down through the atmosphere. It's kind of like a Space Marine drop pod, where it's fatter at the front and thinner at the back, streaking through the atmosphere. Makes sense, right? Yeah, it appeals to me more in terms of a concept for a drop pod. And what is a breaching device? This is supposed to be like a breaching torpedo fired from a Tyranid hive ship that's busted into a Imperial hive ship. That's the Zone Mortalis tile that I'm building on. Yeah. So it's just basically a drop pod that's been repurposed to slam into a ship instead of slam into a world. Go. Yeah, I don't know what kind of biotitan it's reminding you of, but maybe that will become, okay, you know what? You know what it's reminding me of? It's kind of reminding me of a whale shark mouth. A whale shark? It's got a bit of a whale shark vibe, maybe. I love whale sharks, so, I could be channeling that subconsciously without even realizing it. Right. All my different sculpting tools. Right, need a little more putty on the back here. And I think this is going to be cool. Like, I mean, I was hoping it was going to be cool. And I thought it would be cool, but I'm starting to see it starting to come together for me. And if just this part is cool, then, well, the rest of the towel. Hopefully the rest of the towel will follow. Walk away, walk away, walk away, walk away. I will follow. I really wish I could play some music, but unfortunately, YouTube does not like that. If I start playing music, they're going to shut down the stream because they're going to be like, you are playing music. You are not authorized. It's lame. Juju Danger Bear told me that I should just get some royalty-free music to play in the background, but I don't know what that looks like. I'll listen to bands that I know, not random royalty-free stuff. So instead, I just have to talk to myself like a crazy person. Talk to you lovely folks out there on the internet. I really appreciate anyone tuning in for this. I don't know how terribly interesting it is, but hopefully you're hobbying yourself and this can just be on in the background and you can look up every so often. If you are hobbying yourself, let me know in the chat what you're working on. Even if you're not hobbying right now, let me know what you're working on in general. Bonus points if it's a Tyranid. I'm happy to hear about your Space Marines. It's fine. But bonus points if it's a Tyranid. Okay. Walk away, walk away, walk away. I will follow. I will follow. I will follow. Not worrying too much about the detail up here, both because that's going to be hidden behind like the wall section and because I'll probably sculpt carapace plates up there. In fact, as I'm painstakingly detailing this fucking thing, I'm realizing no one's going to see it. I'm really good at that, you know? I'm really good at sculpting intricate detail on things that will never be seen. I'm an idiot. Let's just mesh the bottom so I can feel good about it and then be done with this side. Walk away, walk away. I will fall. So has anyone heard about the sphere? This new thing in Vegas. It's supposed to be like a giant bubble screen. Apparently it got famous because U2 is doing a residency there, and apparently it is amazing. But I'm a nerd, so I want to go see the new Darren Aronofsky movie that he made specifically for this thing because I'm a lover of Darren Aronofsky. And he made a movie that's called like Postcard to the Earth or Postcard from the Earth or something like that. And it's basically like a Planet Earth movie, like beautifully shot, uh, nature stuff is what I understand. But there's like a little bit of a sci-fi vibe there where it's like a record of Earth for aliens or something, or maybe it's machines. But yeah, I just love Darren Aronofsky. And this thing, the whole thing with the sphere thing is that it's a giant dome. Like, I don't know if in Canada we have this thing called a Cinesphere. It's like an IMAX dome thing. Like kind of things you get at like planetariums where, sorry, I mispronounced that. Kind of things you get at planetariums, where it's like a big dome over you and it's really impressive. So it's like that, but it's for like screening films, slash, I guess, concerts, because U2 is doing concerts there and they have like all these cool visuals up on the thing. So I don't know. I feel like I've never been to Vegas, but I want to plan a trip to Vegas. Oh shit. Push this thing and it came out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Be careful. Put too much pressure on it. Is one okay? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to go to Vegas just to see this this Darren Aronofsky thing. And then like while I'm there, maybe I'll go see U2, but I don't know how much U2 is going to cost. I've never seen U2, but I like U2. Maybe I should go see U2 in Vegas. If it's a residency, it can't be that expensive, right? Although I hear that concerts are hideously expensive these days. In general. Yeah, so I'm really jazzed about this thing. And then I was thinking like, oh, maybe I go when like LVO is happening, but like I don't want to play in LVO. I just want to go to Vegas. And I don't know if LVO is the Las Vegas Open, if there's much to see if you're not playing. So if anyone has experience with LVO, let me know. Is it worth going if you're not going to play in the tournament? Would it be worth lining up my trip with LVO so that I'm there when LVO is happening and go see the Sphere thing? Who knows? Just got on that topic because I've been singing U2 to myself. Remember, Jones, no one's going to see this detail, so it's just got to be there. Suggestion of it, and that is more than enough. Focus on this side, which you're pushing out, moron. All right, putty up the inside. So yeah, just kind of like blended it in, but you're probably not going to see it, so who cares? Maybe you'll be able to see it. Maybe there's like a little window. I don't know. Basically, I'm going to be the back of the model. Back of the diorama. You've got to get yourself together. You got stuck in a moment and you can't get out of it. Oh, Lord, look at you now. You got yourself stuck in a moment. Can't get out. I'm the weird U2 guy. I got into U2 with Mysterious Ways. I was very fortunate to have when I was a kid, my parents were both working, and they hired us, I guess they're called au pairs, like a nanny kind of person that would live with us and stay for the summer. And for a while, it was a bunch of ladies, but then they got a guy, which was cool. I mean, I was raised by women in the way that some people are raised by wolves. So I really appreciate the fact that I had a lot of female friends growing up, and feel like they made me a little more conscientious about stuff. But I guess my parents were like, "Oh, you know, our two sons should have like a male role model or something. So we're gonna get this guy Remy. Shout out Remy from I think he was from Quebec City. Dude was amazing. But he introduced me to good music because I didn't know anything about music. And I guess I was in like grade 4, grade 5 or something. Maybe it was the summer before grade 6. I don't know. Yeah, and he would listen to like the alternative rock radio stations, or was it just called rock then? And I got like some Cure, I got some U2, like what's that U2? What's that Cure song? Friday I'm in Love? Uh it's probably not what it's actually called. But that was like one of my formative experiences. Madonna, Like a Prayer. Oh baby. Man, like I fucking love that song. Oh, I'm not supposed to swear. Man, I freaking love that song. Holy mortadella. Um, awesome video too. I think it was Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal. Is that the one where he's like dancing in a warehouse and they like come down the stairs? All this cool stuff. So that's how I got into U2 with Mysterious Ways. But then I didn't really get into U2 properly until like the best of what was that best of they did where it was like one of them was like 1980 to 1990 and one of them was like 1990 to 2000. I was more of a U2 1990 to 2000 dude. But I don't know. I like U2. I haven't really been into them lately. That is neither here nor there. This is the random banter you get on a stream when I have no one but myself to talk to. Oh, I've got people out there in Chatland. How's it going in chat? Oh, we got another friend, Leon MF. Hello, Leon. What do we got? Oh man, we got lots in here. Show the inside. Can't put my finger on it. Horseshoe crab. So maybe it's like a horseshoe crab, Trevor. Splinter Cell. Thank you, Trevor. Splinter Cell is the thing that has a game called Omega Strain, and it's Splinter Cell that comes up when you look up Omega Strain. My genes are called at me. Yeah, Rudy, like a giant tick that attaches to the ship, then opens its mouth inside to let out trips. That's exactly what I'm going for. Generic. I'm in fact working on assignments. Wish I was hobbying. That's okay. It's a good thing you're working on assignments because that means you've got more time to hobby later when you've finished your assignments. My Norn Queen is currently doing a second master's because she wants to rule the world. And she's got lots of assignment time, which means that I have lots of hobby time. When she's doing assignment time, I'm doing hobby time. Although right now I took today off because I was initially planning to do this whole 24-hour tile build in 24 hours straight, and I was like, I'm gonna need a day to recover from that. But then I didn't manage to get the whole like 24-hour thing down. So now I'm just using this to catch up on what I didn't do over the weekend. So that's pretty meshed. Let's get some detail in there. But yeah, I appreciate all you folks being in the chat. Thank you. Make sure you like this video. And actually, I know you're subscribed because I think I have the chat set that only subscribers can comment. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. That's awesome. If there's anyone out there who wishes they could chat, you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel and you would be able to comment. I am bad at doing the whole like, please like and subscribe. I have some nice friends here on the YouTubes who remind me to do it / do it for me. Shout out Diana. And I appreciate it because I always forget. So yeah, consider liking. Please like the video. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. You can also support me on Patreon. This is something I'm supposed to say. And in fact, I didn't even put the Patreon link in this description. Fantastic. I'm going to go get it on the internet. And I'm going to go get it on the internet. I'm going to go get it and put it in here. Oh, we're at 14:14. Okay, I can soon do my little update. I'm going to do it at the 10-hour mark. So I'll duck out for a second and record my update, the 10-hour mark. Here is the link to my Patreon if you want to support on Patreon. I don't have any tiers. I don't think I have tiers. But it's just like to support my work. And then every so often I'll send people fun stuff on Patreon. Like I sent folks it's on the back of my laptop. A hot bug summer sticker that I made to celebrate the release of Tyranids in the summer of 2023. So that was a freebie, a physical freebie that I sent to all my patrons. And I have another freebie coming up very soon. Preview it for you. It's not here. It's going to be a cool one. But I need to record a video that goes with it first. But I'll probably send it out to patrons like around Christmas time. It's going to be another sticker. I think it's a cool one. So yeah, if you can just like $1, you'll get a free sticker from me. And let me tell you, if you sponsor me for $1, I am losing money on that, but I do not mind. Stick around for a while, it's all good. Yeah, so I did the Patreon to just make it so if people like what I do, they want to support what I do, they can throw a buck or a couple bucks in a month. And but I don't believe in gating my content, so that's why I have all my like sculpting tutorials and stuff free on YouTube, because I got this information for free, so I shouldn't be charging other people for it. And I just let them, if they want to contribute, they can contribute, whatever they're able. That's my approach to Patreon. I also have a affiliate link from a North American retailer called Fenris Workshop, which I do not have in the description. I usually have that in my stream description, but I failed this time. So if you're in North America and you want to buy hobby stuff, they're a Canadian retailer, but they do ship to the United States. They've told me they can't ship new Games Workshop product to the United States, but like they also sell used stuff, and they can definitely ship that to the United States. I also had one of my patrons in the United States successfully buy new Games Workshop stuff from them, so who knows? Who knows? And that affiliate link, oh, it's in my bio on Instagram. You go to my Instagram, you do the link in bio, the affiliate link is there. Should post it here too. How is this coming along? Don't obsess, Jones. Just get it done. Oh, I should use my ball burnisher tool. That would be good. So in addition to silicone shapers, I also really like these, which are embossing tools. They have balls on either end. They're pretty good for doing like weird tendon stuff on Tyranids. You can just lube them up and run them along to make like little valleys, and then you can just like boop, boop, boop to like give like the impression of stretched flesh. Roll them left to right to make it even bigger. Actually, that's really cool. I have this thing where like, yeah, I know how to sculpt, But if I don't do something for a while, I forget. And I haven't like done like these kind of like giant ass tendons for a while, so I've kind of forgotten my techniques. Whoops. It's looking weird. I'm not loving that. Damn it. Okay. And if you want to support the channel, you can also send a super chat here on YouTube. That's a thing. That is a thing that is definitely appreciated. Or you can just tell your buddies about it. That also supports the channel. And it doesn't cost you anything. Okay. Got a little more detail. I feel like this epoxy sculpt is getting a little hard, which is weird. I feel like I didn't mix it up that long ago, but maybe I did. Oh, need some more detail back in here. But Leon, I appreciate you being like, hey, can you give us a view of the inside of the mouth? Because good to know what people need to see. So please hit me up with any other suggestions like that. If there's parts of the model you need to see that I'm not showing well enough, please just let me know. So stuck in a moment, can't get out. Oh Lord, look at you now. You got yourself stuck in a moment, can't get out. Just a moment, this time will pass. That is not amazing, but whatever. It's good enough. Job's a good one, as the Germans say. What Germans? My Germans. Just so stuck in the moment. Oh Lord, look at you now. All right, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Good enough. Focus on the rest. I wish I had like a giant ball burnisher. This one is not large enough for this work. Yeah, this epoxy sculpt is starting to give me some trouble. It's running out of time. I'm gonna get aggressive. Well, I guess I could always put more epoxy sculpt over it. Get the detail in that way. Or just get my fingers in there. Get you now, you got yourself stuck in a moment. Can't get out. Oh Lord, look at you now. Oh shit, do I still have more? Oh, I do have more. Uh-oh, this is a problem. This is a problem. What am I going to do with this stuff that is half set? Some water help? What else is going on in the chat? Dwarfenage is here. Hi, Dwarfenage. Eric Wire's here. Fantastic. Hey, buddy. Trevor, yes, I am from Toronto. What gave it away? I mentioned something Toronto-ish. Work with a giant tick. Working on assignments. Machining crap at work while listening to your silky voice. Thank you, Trevor, for calling it a silky voice. I don't know if I agree, but I'm glad you think so, buddy. In fact, I will definitely not do, now that Dwarfenage is here, I will not do my fake ASMR thing because Dwarfinish does not enjoy my fake ASMR thing. But here you go, Trevor. This one's for you. Coming at you. Easy listening from Modern Synthesis over here on Modern Synthesis YouTube channel. Hope you're having fun machining crap at work. Now, for some YouTube. Got yourself stuck in a moment. Can't get out of it. Oh, Lord. Look at you now. Okay. If I do that for much longer, I'm going to get copyright struck because that is so accurate and so close to the actual song. I'm going to get in trouble. Oh, this is okay. I just have to like knead it more. Now it's feeling just great. Oh, Eric was there right in the spring before the sphere was done. Ah, sorry you missed the sphere, buddy. Want to go to LVO? Want to go watch a Darren Aronofsky movie with me in Las Vegas? I've never been. I literally only want to go see the movie. I have -3 interest below zero. -3% interest in gambling. I spent enough money on plastic crack. Yo, I didn't realize that Leon was Illogic. Illogic, good to see you, buddy. For anyone who's not following Illogic, you need to get on it. Illogic is on Instagram. Currently working on a I think it should be an Armies on Parade thing. Illogic does really cool stuff. Like you've probably seen his there. I think it's a he. I have no idea. They did a laptop that's exploding with like Eldar and Dark Eldar flying out of it. They did a TV that's exploding with I can't remember what's flying out of the TV. They did a really cool like goblins all of Illogic's things are very 3D. Like they are like coming out at you from the diorama. You need to go check it out. And right now they're working on a Leviathan themed one. Started off with like it was the Leviathan box, and like the Tyranids and Space Marines are like tearing out of the box. It's really really sweet. So I'm really excited to see how like the continued progress on that. And of course they're painting their Tyranids some kind of pink, which you know works for me. I'm Mr. Pink. This is coming together. It's getting there. I'm saving the fact that the epoxy is getting a little hard. Yeah, just literally I'm getting my finger in there like a giant silicone shaper. I just lube it up with some Nivea. Boop, boop, boop. Just get it in there, dig it around. Because it's easier to use than a tool. And it works well. Mark my words, I will show you some wondrous things once we get on the back of this thing. How you can finger sculpt. This is coming together nicely. God bless you, Epoxy Sculpt. God bless you, everyone. And like you can sculpt in the Epoxy Sculpt, or you can just get the rough shapes in the Epoxy Sculpt and come back with green stuff and do that later. I'm lazy, so I'm going to want to try and get as much of it out of the Epoxy Sculpt as I can, so I don't have to come back later. Illogic, can you try and post the URL to your Instagram in the chat? I don't know if it'll let you. I think you have to be like an admin to do it, but it might. Oh, or Dwarfinage, if you're still here, if you can find Illogic's link to Illogic's Instagram and put it in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. I could do it, but I'm on the clock. Oh, 1402. I got to do my update soon. Man, this is good. Okay, so like when I was working on the beginning of this, I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, yeah, I think this is going to be good. But I think what was happening is that I was working in materials that I wasn't as comfortable with. The like inorganic stuff, the like terrain stuff. But now that I'm getting into organic sculpting mode, feeling good. Feeling pumped. Stuck in a moment that you can't get out of it. Oh Lord, look at you now. You got yourself stuck in a moment. Can't get out. Okay, I gotta put more detail in here. It'd be like 2 ridges running through here. Oh man, I kind of want to put that tongue in here now, but no, I don't think it's gonna work. I think it would cover all my lovely tentacle detail. I need to bring this camera up. Getting my shoulder in it. All right, here's where we're at currently. Getting some gribbly details in there in the horseshoe crab / whale shark mouth. Oh, interesting. I can see behind there. Logic, have you ever played around with epoxy sculpt? I feel like with the scale of stuff that you're doing, it could be a really cool material for you. Yeah, I think I posted your Leviathan thing, and I was like, okay, guys, don't bother entering Leviathan Armies on Parade because the Logic's got it under lock. But I think you said that you're not sure you're going to be done in time for Armies on Parade. But I think that you should definitely, if you've got it even close to done, enter it in the Leviathan category because you're going to kill it. You're already killing it. Blah, 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 bleep, bleep, blah, blow. Whatever, ish. Ngurai, as the Japanese would say. Let's see what we can make happen. See what magic we can pull. Oh, right. I was supposed to put the rest of the putty in here. Whoops. Tendons? We do tendons? I feel like I'm going to regret this, but let's do it anyway. It's too much. Oh, don't need to put putty in the middle. The middle can just be bare. Just got to put putty at the top and bottom. Smart. Okay, so I'm just kind of I'm going to use the material of the pin in the middle and then just have it like taper in at the top and the bottom because it's going to be it's always tough to sculpt on a wire. Normally what I do is I'll like put like a very thin skim of putty onto the wire and then let that cure and then sculpt detail onto it because I feel like if you put just putty onto a wire, it just slips around and slips around and slips around to the side. I'm trying to taper this. Well, maybe I should use my flat fizzle thing. Oh, we've passed the 10-hour mark. I got to go do my thing. Where's that? There we go. Slightly more solid black chisel. No, I want metal. Sometimes the metal tools are better for like meshing putty into something else. I thought about making these like tendon bits wider, but then they'll just obscure any detail I managed to sculpt in behind. So not a good plan. Okay, so now I'm just like doing the tissue stretching up onto them. Again, don't need to worry about the back. No one's going to see the back. Just have it fanning out. Stretched stuff going on there. Ish. I don't know. Not super thrilled. I kind of want the putty to come further up the base of it, but I guess it's coming further up here. And this is the top. No one's going to see the top. Remind yourself, no one is going to see the top. No one is going to see the top. Don't obsess. It's a suggestion of some detailing. Suggestion of some shit at the back. Where's my ball burnisher? That in. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this. A little bit of this. A little bit of the old razzle dazzle. What the hell am I saying? Good enough. Oh, wait, down here. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to take a break. Very short break. Record my 10-hour update because I'm 5 minutes past 10 hours. I'll be right back. Anyone needs a bathroom break? Oh, and then I'll get in and look at the chat. So I'm going to pause the timer. I'm going to turn off my mic here. I'll be right back. Thank you all for hanging out. And I will be, it won't be 5 minutes. It'll be less than 5 minutes. I'm just going to do the thing, stir some tomatoes, because I'm stewing tomatoes while I'm doing this, and I will be right back. Okay. Got that stuff done. Gotta make sure I've... Oh. The dog's like, what are we doing? Not doing anything, Doodle. Sorry, buddy, you gotta wait a little longer. Chill. Oh, wait, should we have a Ripley update? I guess we haven't had a Ripley update yet. Ripley, come here. Camera's gonna get a little janky for a second. Hold on. Bear with. Hi. Here's your protagonist. No, you didn't want to see that. I swear it'll be worth it. Doodle. And we're upside down. Come here. Yes, good boy. Come here. Come here. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Who's the goodest boy? This is Ripley the Springer. He's named for Ellen Ripley because she's awesome. Dude, who's a little bit gender confused. And he's my companion today. But he had a thing on his back explode, so he has to wear a donut. So here is your dog cam action for now. Put it later. You go back to chilling. Oh, thanks. Right, back to it. Watch me not be able to get the camera back between the... Oh, I should have adjusted the camera, not the lamp. I'm an idiot. I'm a professional. Filthy professional. Oh, lamp. A little bit. There we go. Oh, did my video shift? That was dumb. One sec. There we go. It's out of here. We'll post a photograph, the progress. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. That's pretty cool. There we go. Gross whale shark mouth. Hour 10 progress. Brought to you by Caves, Play, Foxy, Scoot. Let's do it. Where's that hashtag? Why don't you just save the hashtag for me? Or 24-hour tile. Boom. Okay, I said it was only going to be 5 minutes. I think I might have taken longer. Whatever. And I can post this. Flippin' amazing. Steve paints and sculpts. Man, sucks to be Games Workshop losing that guy. He is doing some cool-ass Space Marine scoutish things, old school Space Marine scouts. I may have to buy a whole squad of them. He's like, how about a whole squad? I will buy those weirdo Space Marine weirdos. Plastic crack Carl. Okay, back to it. What's going on in the Chatteroony? Those are things that I've never seen. The lodge. Oh, Dwarfenage, why are you exploding my chat, man? Good morning. Thanks for the link. Oh, would it not let you do it? All right, you did it. Think Fenris. Look at you. You're amazing. Thank you. Got a dip for a bit, but I should be back in about 10 minutes and can post stuff. Chat for it. Thank you so much. So yeah, anyone who's joining the stream now, I'm working on the 24-hour tile challenge. I am making a Zone Mortalis tile of a Tyranid breaching pod smashing into an Imperial ship. Right now, I'm working on the Tyranid breaching pod. Okay, I can't do this right now. That's cool. Thanks, Orphanage. That was actually very useful. Oh. Yeah. Here we go. Back to work. Oh, I gotta start the timer. That would be bad. Imagine if I started working with the timer on. Okay. Back to sculpting this grossness. Don't need glasses for that. Timer's going. Groovy. Now I'm going to use my finger like a giant ball burnisher. But thank you to Orphanage for the tip. That was useful. Oh, I got to do this. Whoops. This thing needs some detail. I don't think I can manage that with my finger. Uh-oh, epoxy sculpt's getting hard. That's not good. That is a good motivation to work quick when your epoxy starts getting hard. Do this. Wiggle it left to right as I go. Look at that. That's working. Good eye. So I told myself that I was going to go to the pool today, take a break, go get some exercise because I haven't been getting that much exercise doing this, but getting tough. The better this goes, the less I want to go take a break for lunch and swimming and stuff, but I got to do it. Got to do it. My mic's on. Good. Okay. I left my mic on. That would be dumb. Yeah, this stuff is getting tough. Sculpt. It's okay, I think. That's cool that people got this on while you're working. Give me a shout out if you got this thing on in the background while you're working. That is awesome. Some like random membraney feels are coming up here. Happy little accidents happening. It's kind of cool. Kind of like that. Let's lean into it. This stuff go in behind. Oh, oh my. Oh, I say. I say. detail up in here. Is that putty? Or maybe a. So yeah, I'm working here. I've already been at this for 10 hours. Not today. I started the other day. And the goal is to get to do a Zone Mortalis tile in 24 hours. You don't have to do it all at 24 hours at once. You can if you want to, but this was a community project idea by HiveMarketMinis over on Instagram, and it officially started today, even though I started early on the weekend. The official kickoff for the event is today. That's probably enough. You have more sculpting to do, and this is not the end of it. Not a, on the back here. Oh no, there's no detail here. God. This may have been too much to do all at once, but whatever. Gotta learn somehow. Like I said, I can come back later and add detail, theoretically. I know what I'm doing here. Making it up as I go along, that's what I'm doing. That's the wrong side. Letting the putty tell me what it wants to do. Some shiz. Good look? I don't know if that's a good look. My finger ball burnisher didn't work so well, so I'm going for the real thing. Even better than the real thing. Ooh, take me higher. Ooh, take me higher. Take me higher. Even higher than the real thing. Today's stream brought to you by U2. That's too much. Soften that detail a bit. Where's my digit? My digital sculpting. See what I did there? Digital sculpting. Joke. Funny. This is all the digital sculpting I do. Games Workshop yesterday playing Kill Team. Someone's like, "Oh, you've got a digital printer." I'm like, "I absolutely do not, my friend." Got a little Kill Team token case that was digitally printed. It's like, my friend printed this for me. I do not go in for that shenanigans. I was at that was just like a Kill Team event at Games Workshop. I was at a Kill Team tournament, and one of the tournament organizers was like, "Oh, that's a cool like mini Carnifex. Is that an STL you got off the internet?" I'm like, "No, man. Sculpted that. I converted that." And I realized this is probably what people think when they see my stuff. They're like, "Oh, sweet. That's a great STL." Nobody. It was made by humans, not a computer. Doing a little suggestion of some detail here quickly before this stuff sets. Otherwise, it's going to be boring. Give you guys in YouTube land another look at the inside in a second. Gotta get this in before the putty gets too hard. I'm wearing my hat again. Oh, Kajan's here. Hey, buddy. Holy cow, chat is exploding. Hello, friends. Oh, Kajan's once again sharing the Patreon. Frankie Stein. That's a great name. Hey, Frankie Stein. Thanks for joining up, and thanks for the well wishes. Frankie Stein, where you at? What are you doing? Oh, wait, you may have already answered that. I should go read the rest of your chats. Given the suggestion of some connective tissue action in here, some stretched membrane, what's it nonsense? I will give you a good look inside in just a minute. So my ball burnisher is coming in really handy here. I'm just like rolling it through the putty because the putty is getting hard. So it's not responding to the silicone tools where the metal tools shine. Not going too deep. I'm just kind of like doing like soft valleys here, like the suggestion of them. That's the key with organic sculpting. You don't want to have like too sharp an edge on things unless you're doing stuff like hard stuff like armor plates, because it'll start looking inorganic. It's got a sharp edge on it. Getting into the zone where I'm going to obsess over the detail and then sculpt right over it when I add the next bit of putty. Speaking of the next bit of putty, all this putty, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll do the back of the tentacles. Still viable when I get there. Good thing about epoxy sculpt, it's cheap. Run out of time, it's not that bad to throw it out. I mean, yeah, sure, wasteful, but not as wasteful as throwing out green stuff. So I went from thinking I didn't have enough putty to having too much, like I always do. This is coming together nicely. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Yeah, I'm just going to sculpt a little bit. It's not. Hey. Hi, John. Thanks for popping in, buddy. This side's going to be exposed. Maybe I should just sculpt more detail there. Getting a bit gross in here. That's what we like to see with Tyranids. Putty. I mean, more lubricant. Using Nivea lubricant. I mentioned this earlier. It's the best thing for lubricating sculpting. You don't have to wash your models after. Normal Nivea hand cream. Comes in a big blue tub. Or you can use any other hand cream. It's just that I think it needs to be water-based. Wouldn't use an oil-based. Are there oil-based hand creams? I don't even know. Nivea works for me, so that's what I use. All right, there's your look inside the mouth of this creepy monstrosity. It's getting the like ridging in there. Whoa, where's the focus? Why is my autofocus over there? There we go. Just getting some creepy ridging in there. In fact, I may have gone too far. I might have to run my finger over it to soften it a bit, dial it back. That's just the suggestion. Just a suggestion. Something weird's happening in there. Not like it. All right. That's decent. No idea what to do with this. Is it even still viable? See what's going on in the chat while I figure that out. We got Frankie Stein coming along. Come to my lake. Come to my lake. I don't get it. It's hard sometimes to step away. Losing momentum can feel like starting over. You're absolutely right, Frankie Stein. Yep, just watching this while working on a report. That's cool. Don't worry, Radon. If you missed a lot, it's all being recorded. It's a really struggle from stepping away from a project. Do most stuff in a sitting. If I leave, I might never come back to it. I'm gonna ads inserted. Okay, that's weird. If I leave, I might never come back to it. I'm gonna be working on a little editing in a bit. Cool. Hi everyone. Thank you, Kajan, for reminding everyone to hit the like button. And if you enjoy what you're seeing, comment. Let us know what you think of Mr. Pink's impromptu singing. Or maybe don't let us know what you think of Mr. Pink's impromptu singing if you think it's crap. Man, Kajan, you're the best. You're the best hype man. Good work. Sub for more dad jokes. Dwarfnage, you're fired. No, we're not doing any mom jokes. I don't think those are appropriate. Teeth and slime, that could work. There's this really cool movement going on now where people are hand sculpting miniatures, purposely making them look hand sculpted. Oh, that's a cool idea. Where to see? Kaja knows all the deep cuts. Yes, my my uncle told me that I really should be wearing gloves when I'm sculpting. My uncle came over to my house, rode over on his bike, no bicycle helmet, to tell me that I should be wearing gloves when I'm sculpting. My uncle, who fell off his roof when he was trying to fix it because he wasn't tied off or anything, wasn't wearing a helmet, wasn't doing nothing like that, fell into like a window well, somehow survived, told me I need to be wearing gloves or a barrier cream when using epoxy. So he's right, but he might not be the best person to take safety advice from. The deep cut that Kajan's referring to. All right, now I'm going to obsessively sculpt tentacle detail on the back of this thing that no one's going to see. Also, there's no good way to show this to you. There. is, or at least fill in some tentacle detail on the back side of this where no one's going to see. Just to show that these tentacles continue behind this wall. The suggestion that these tentacles continue behind this wall. Just to use up this rapidly setting epoxy sculpt that I mixed. What tool is that? Okay, out of here, breaching pod. Oh man, this stuff's getting hard to sculpt with. Detail back here, amazing. Okay. Looks so good. Yeah, that whole thing about like people being like, hey, you made a cool model, it must be 3D printed. I wonder how Games Workshop thinks about that when they're doing their Armies on Parade stuff, because I know Games Workshop is very nervous about showcasing third-party models. Really hope that doesn't detract from Armies on Parade, where like they don't allow any conversions. They just want standard Games Workshop marketing material, I mean models, because that would be sad. They're worried about people having 3D printed stuff, but maybe they're just being like YOLO. It looks good and it has mostly Games Workshop models in it. It's good. I don't know. The less thought put into that, the better. Don't let Games Workshop tell you how to play with your toys. Where is my thing? Suggestion of a little dimple. And the two together, hopefully. Okay. What's it look like on the back? Just a random blob of putty. It's fine. Yeah, this stuff's getting real hard. Shit. Water? Will water save me? Ah. Oh, Kajan is dropping knowledge about epoxy and why you should wear gloves. I used to always wear gloves. Not always. I used to regularly wear gloves when I was mixing the stuff. And then I take the gloves off when I start working with it because I'm mostly just like working with it with my tools. But I should, oh God, this is not even sticking. Like, rattling. Okay. Done. You're done. You're done, green stuff. You're done, epoxy sculpt. You're done. I'm amazed that I got as much detail under the breaching pot as I did. The epoxy being that toast. All right, this is toast. Goodbye. I'm gonna mix up some more. So as a recap, this is the Zone Mortalis tile. It's got a wall at the back. It's got these funky tentacles. The breaching pod is meant to mount here with its very precarious pins. Back over the tentacles. Looking okay in there. Not perfect. I want to get more detail in, but I don't think I can. It might be too far gone. The detail I got in is what we're going with. Okay, here's the close-up on what we've accomplished thus far. Still got a lot more to sculpt in here. It's the other connective tissue bit from the Tyrannocyte. Go. Here's our big whale shark mouth. Or not coconut crab. Horseshoe crab or something. On the note of toxic green stuff, I do keep water here and I do rinse my fingers. And try not to eat anything. Green stuff crap on my hands, then I wash them after. So Kajan and Dwarfenage are fighting each other to plug stuff for the channel. Thank you both. And just noting that I've done videos on how to store green stuff, because like these containers that it comes in, or like epoxy putty, I should say, these containers that it comes in are not ideal. See how this lid is turning yellow? That's because the stuff inside, like off gases or whatever, and this is not perfectly airtight. So the best container to keep them in is a glass container, because epoxy putty can react very slightly with plastic, like different kinds of plastic. We talked about that in another video. But I use these little mason jars because they're airtight and store it on glass so that it doesn't react with it. And yeah, I think they're great. You can still store it in these, but ideally you want to store it in these and you want to store it in a Ziploc bag. And ideally you want to store it in a Ziploc bag separately. Like I think I showed it when I got this out. This is in one Ziploc bag. This is in another Ziploc bag. If you want to be extra and you have the space, you can put it in your freezer because that keeps it fresh for longer. But yeah, I'm going to go take a leak and I will be right back and then I'll mix up some more putty. Although, oh, sugar. Got to take a break at some point. Whatever, I'll mix more putty. Live fast, die hard. Be right back. One question. Does anyone have any idea how long you're supposed to stew tomatoes for? I'm stewing tomatoes from Nora's garden. Don't know how long I'm meant to do it. I started just before I started the stream, which has been going on for... YouTube doesn't tell me how long it's been going on. Well, it clearly does, but since 9:15-ish. So 2 hours and 15 minutes? That's got to be near done, right? I don't know. Okay. So I'm probably going to take a break around lunchtime, go swim, Just so you know, we're just after lunchtime. Oh, there's my epoxy extractor. Once again, this is Abe's Epoxy Sculpt. Highly recommend it. It's like green stuff, but cheaper. You can carve it. You can sand it after. Much better than you can with green stuff. Not going to take as much as I think I need because I took too much the first time. But this stuff's cheaper than green stuff, so who cares? Okay. That. Part B. These are in different tubs. They come together. Buy them as a set. Part A. Let's get a little more. Looking. More or less the same, I think. All right, I'm putting my gloves on, Kajan, to be safe. Oh, no, I got to do an update at. Oh, start the timer. Start. Never cook tomatoes for 2 hours. So you cook them for 20 or 30 minutes. That is, are they like raw tomatoes, or you get them in a can and you cook them that long? These are raw tomatoes from the garden. Looking Geiger-esque. Thanks, Dwarfenage. That's the goal. Creepy Geiger goodness. I was worried that when I was sculpting the top, I was going to be shoving my fingers in the detail I sculpted on the bottom, but the detail on the bottom is probably good and dry now. Because this push the epoxy sculpt to the limit of its. There you go. I mixed it around 9:30, 9:15, 9:30. It's 2 hours later. There is your working time for epoxy sculpt. Oh, and them being more of a sauce is probably fine. I just looked at them. There's still some pieces in there. Maybe I should go turn them off now. I should probably turn them off before I get into the flow of sculpting more stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the interior is looking. Gross and creepy and organic is the goal. And it's looking pretty gross, creepy, and organic. They're on super low. They're not boiling. Don't worry about that. So Kajan, you said about making some tentacles and some teeth. That is a good. That's another good use for extra green stuff. Roll it in advance, and then it'll set, and then you can use it later. I got to put some like big ass mandibles or claws on the end of this thing. I haven't really decided how I'm gonna position them, but that is a goal of mine. So just keeping my fingers wet while I'm mixing this epoxy sculpt. It's probably mixed by now. And I'm just going to glob it into the top of the mouth here. So yeah, I sunk these pins through to be able to position the thing better when I put it on the base. And I fixed them with some super glue at both ends and added baking soda to make like more of a solid anchor. Because going through the foam, like that's not going to anchor them very much. But now as I put the epoxy sculpt in, it's helping to anchor them more. I guess I should sculpt from the back forward. I think that's probably the best bet. Because I need to put some kind of like, what are the things in the back of your mouth? Not your tonsils. Like esophagus. I got to put some kind of suggestion of like a Tyranid esophagus back here, because this is supposed to be a mouth. Spewing out Tyranids. Creepy and delicious. And detail that people are probably never going to see, but worth it. Like Illogic said. Do lots of stuff that people never see. Yeah, probably the smarter bet is start from the back and work my way forward. if I was smart. Oh, and I can add more to this membrane or whatever the heck it is. So I add more putty, totally sculpting over what I already sculpted. Fantastic. That's how you do it. Obsess over it and then completely cover it. Like that time when I first made my old one-eye Carnifex Hell, and I based it on a pewter demon prince torso and head. I gotta move this camera far over. That is where I'm working. Okay, Ruby. Yeah, bought a whole old pewter demon prince to make this Carnifex, and I completely buried the demon prince chest plate and head and sculpted everything right over it. So kind of like when I did my Tyranid, big giant Tyranid Titan recently, the Dominatrix. Hashtag Dominid3. I started it with a Scythe Terradual model, and then I completely sculpted over it, as one does. Okay. Oh, my glove's giving some cool texture to this. Not the kind of texture I want, but yeah, don't use, if you're using gloves, don't use disposable nitrile gloves or whatever the heck, latex gloves. Get some kitchen gloves that you do dishes with because they're reusable. I bought these like years ago and I've just kept using them. I even use this one to mix the weird air cure putty stuff that's in here, and it's completely fine. So you don't have to worry about that. You guys are just talking about vegetarianism and stuff. If anyone who isn't Dwarfenage or Kachan is in the chat and wants to chime in, that is also cool. Don't let these two gentlemen dominate the conversation. They are regulars to the channel and assist co-hosts of a type. I guess they got that fancy little badge that shows they're administrators. Okay. How are we going to do this? They add a little more putty? Let's do a little more. We don't regret it later. My reasons for not being vegetarian are that I like cheese and milk too much. So I could probably be like, well, that doesn't mean I can't be vegetarian. I like cheese, milk, eggs. Every so often I eat some red meat, but not as much as I used to. And I eat a lot of chicken. I don't eat pork so much these days. So I guess I'm halfway there. But yeah, I could definitely not be vegan because I like cheese and stuff too much, but maybe vegetarian? I don't know. Although I do love me A&W Beyond Meat Burger. That is good times. I don't even buy normal burgers there anymore. It's Beyond Meat all the time. But I'm sure that's like not healthy. I'm sure that's just a bunch of science. Get it to taste like meat. I gotta get these gloves off. I'm not having the digital sculpting control that I'm looking for right now. Oh, I don't know if I have enough putty to sculpt an esophagus. Like, I can always add more. Just put a little more down in there. So there's something to work with. Oh, I should shout out to Marco. I should sculpt a little Tyranid sphincter in there because you can't see all the way down into the thing. So there's got to be like a suggestion of like an opening that opens to disgorge the Tyranids. If you enjoy Tyranid sphincters, make sure to go back and check part 2 of this 24-hour stream when Bargace joined us. I think it's 9 p.m. It's about an hour into the stream or something like that, an hour into part 2, where Bargeist gives us a rundown on Tyranid hive ships and all that kind of stuff. And there is a lot of talk of Tyranid sphincters, which is, oh man, it's like off center because this friggin' thing is away. Whatever. Figure it out. Ooh, I need more Nivea. Lube up my tools. That hair out of there because that's going to show up in my sculpting and I'm not. All right. Let's figure this out. One sphincter coming straight up. Got turned around having this upside down. Yeah, it's off center. That really pisses me off. Oh well. Make it happen. Well, it's going to be like this. So it's going to be actually more visible because it's off center. Nice. Happy little accident. Pisses me off. Oh well. Let's see what magic we can make happen here. Oh, maybe I was picturing a round one, but I should make it like cat eye, not cat eye, like oblong, because this whole pod is oblong. Huh? What do you think? So it goes behind this. That is a problem, but whatever. Whatever. Steal some putty from this. This is where you got to trust me because it looks like garbage. Hmm. I have a vision. Skill for the execution. This is the question. Really, and I do this. I just like try for something, and then if it doesn't work, I just kind of like follow along, like where I've gotten with it, and make it work. Make any sense at all? So these are like muscle filaments or something. I don't know. Filaments. Making a great eye of Sauron. Oh shit! Get out of there. Tyranid sphincter. Maybe one of my stream videos got demonetized. I thought it was because I was swearing too much. Maybe it's just because I was saying the word sphincter too much. Not that I'm making much off these. But I'm making much off YouTube in general. But that's not why we do it. Yeah, this thing is awkwardly in the way, but I'm just going to pretend it's not there and keep working. It's tough to get in there, I'm not going to lie. Is what it, maybe I can get my finger in there. Rip. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Hey! What is speaking? Okay. I gotta go deal with the dog. Slash some tomatoes. I'll be right back. Hey, you're fine. Come here. Come here. All right, friends, I'm not going to burn the house down. Tomatoes are off the heat. Oh. So Dwarfenage is, not Dwarfenage, Kajan is reusing his nitrile gloves. Tomatoes are off the heat. I'm not going to burn my house down. In case you were looking for that update. Here's that update. I could have done it in spackle or some other material, but honestly, I want the control of the epoxy. In here. Well, it's tough to get in here, so I shouldn't obsess over the details too much. That's what I should be learning from this endeavor. Oops, totally off camera. Sorry about that. I'm not using gloves, but I'm using Nivea. That's like barrier cream, right? Right? Definitely not gonna like just take the epoxy and like send it into my pores, right? All right, just friggin' do the detail on the sphincter and be done with it. Sphincter. This is tough. Tough to get at. Let me tell you. This is weird. This is weird. Shape's getting a little whacked. I was going to do like a 3-part opening, but I think I should just do one straight opening across it. I don't know the 3-part thing's going to work. Because I can barely sculpt this. Barely at all. Actually, this part's really cool in here. That kind of like window part. I'm really happy with that. There you go. Focus on what you're happy with, not the part that's not working out. Oh shit. Ah. All right. Time for an opening. Do I have what sculpting tools? I do not. Goddamn. There is my handy dandy knife tool. Maybe I'll do like a cross. This and then a vertical one too. I don't know. I'm not Googling sphincter to find out how they look. Not going to do it. Do not want a reference image for this one. Right, and then I can come with one of these. I do like a, I don't know. How did I do this on Moloch's goddamn gun beast? Huh. I think I did this, and then I did like the hits around it. Got me an idea. It's probably a bad one. No, I don't like it. So should I do another one like this? It's a bit too rectilinear for my tastes. Maybe I can recover. Vaguely beak-like? Still the Dwarfenage and Kaijon show? Oh, Generic jumped in. Good. Oh, there's other folks. Okay. We're talking about vegetarianism. Brodius, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Brodius. Good luck, sir. Have a sphincter. Blah. Only have sister leaving us, Brodius. The only place. Hey, the sphincter be with you. That's awesome. Oh no, emergency Brodius. I'm sorry you need emergency dental work, bud. That's not cool. Wish you luck with that. That is tough sailing. May the sphincter be with you as well, Brodius. And with you. I guess that's what I'm supposed to say. Okay, this is getting kind of beaky, and now it's working for me. I have to see how it goes. So I'm trying to like pucker up the putty in the middle here so it looks vaguely beaky. And liking this much better. It looks far less rectilinear, which is not a Tyranid shape. It's not perfect. It's tough to sculpt in here, but getting there. How do I want to do this? Never use this tool anyway. Okay, and there was something else. Whatever. Hmm. This is tough. It's challenging. Hey, clean up the outside. Damn it. Get in here. Look at this. Yeah, I need a different tool. The Hydra sculpting tool. It is a nail shoved into the end of a paintbrush. Where the beaks meet is challenging. Very challenging. What are people thinking about this? Is it working for you? Does it look like a weird Tyranid sphincter orifice thing? Soften this edge, I think. Pull these up a bit. Tough work. Oh, maybe this will work. One of these sculpty tools. It'd be a little more 3D, curving outwards. What I wish I had was a tool with a hook. I could hook in behind, but I don't have anything like that, sadly. Gotta fudge it with what I got. It's getting there. This one is not beaky enough. Okay, that's looking a little gross and a little interesting. Is what I want to go for. In these. Suggestion that there's space in there to hold stuff. I'm most fond of it here, not here, and I'm wondering if I can fix that. It's making it worse. Some kind of freaky squid beak thing? I don't know. Move this out so it's not a mess. Got to get detail in here. Can't forget about that. What am I doing? What am I using? I have no idea. What are people saying? Brodius, good luck, sir. May the strength be with you. Sister, leaving only place. Dental work. Good morning. Oh, Dave Pikey's last chance. Good to see you, buddy. Vegas. Dave, if you're still here, I was just talking about Vegas. I want to hear more about Vegas. Dave, can you tell me anything about the Sphere? I want to go see the Darren Aronofsky movie. And I also have always liked U2, and I've never seen U2. Do you recommend it? Are you going? Are you interested? If I wait till LVO, Dave, do you go to LVO? Is LVO worth it for someone who isn't playing in the tournament? If I were to go to Vegas just to see the sphere thing, should I go during LVO so that I can like drop by LVO? Is it not worth it? If you're not in the tournament, do you have any idea? Let me know. I need a Vegas Connect to give me the tips. Operation Don't Fuck This Up. Don't fuck it up. Oh, right. I'm not supposed to swear. I gotta channel my inner RuPaul. Don't mess it up. How did Ben de la Creme do it? When he was Maggie Smith? When she was Maggie Smith? Ooh, RuPaul. This is Drag Race. Ben de la Creme's the best. Gotta get some detail up in here before I forget it. Oh, yeah. It's not the right one. Do. Love you is easy because you're beautiful. Do. A little bit of South Park deep cut there for you. This is kind of cool. That's working for me. That's working. Oh, but I don't have any detail on the inside. Shit. Can't get too far in close to my sphincter. Don't want to destroy that detail. Yeah, Ben de la Creme's my favorite drag queen, but Ben de la Creme's my favorite drag queen. Courtney Act is the fishiest drag queen. But my first drag race introduction was Nora taking me to see Bianca Del Rio for my birthday. She played in Toronto, and Nora was like, "Hey, drag race is awesome. You got to see this." I'm like, "I have no idea what we're doing," but it was hilarious. Not today, Satan. That was my introduction to drag race. Good times. Actually, that whole season, because Nora was like, "You got to watch this season." I watched it. I was like, "This is amazing. This is amazing." Head out Drag Race. Season, what is that? Season 5? Ben de la Creme and Bianca Del Rio? I don't know. Season 7? I don't know. But, oh, shout out to Bob. Bob, right? Drag Clown, who won one of the most recent drag races. Bob's from Toronto. I've never actually seen Bob perform. I should fix that. Although now probably, well, it's a drag show. It's not going to be that expensive. But yeah, good on Bob. for representing Canada Land. Toronto specifically. There was another one, Brooklyn something. Brooklyn was like the first, I think, Canadian, possibly Toronto as well, drag queen on Drag Race, but Bob nailed it. I did not watch that season. I just caught parts of it while Nora was watching it. But I liked Bob way more than the other queen. I can't remember her name. I just found her kind of annoying. Don't know how she got as far as she did. Don't know what the heck I'm talking about? It's cool. You're worried about drag queens? You shouldn't be. They got bigger things to worry about than doing anything to kids. That's, I'm not going to get into that, but I do not stand for that nonsense. All right. Ish. Good eye. Some mesh. Some message. That's a hard thing to say. In here. Oh, it's the part no one's going to see. Who cares? All right. Oh, did I miss an update? I think I missed an update. I think I got to go do an update. Whoops. What time is it? 12:19. Yeah, I got to start thinking about going to do some swimming soon. Which is good because I think this detail is almost good. Still think the weird thing inside is a little bit rough, but it's okay. I'm worried I might have put too much detail in. I don't know. I'll go to 12:30 and then I'm gonna call it for a bit and take a lunch break. So I got another 10 minutes to obsess about this stuff. Ooh, need more detail here. Cool. Finger action in there. Not gonna lie, I thought I would be like long done this, but apparently it's like this sculpting stuff. I thought I would have already started on the back, but whatever. This can all dry while I'm off doing my lunch break, and then I will not screw it up when I come back. That's the hope. Dootin' dootin' doo. Ah, loving you is easy because you're beautiful. Dootin' dootin' doo. Ah. It's okay. Weird, hideous monster sphincter. I think it's hard. People are not going to see it. This thing's going to crash like this, and then if they like look very closely, they're going to see up in there. So I shouldn't obsess over it. Should just be done. I think I got a detail up in there. Just meshing. Or do I have more? I got more putty. Always more putty. Ugh. Got 10 minutes. What can I do in 10 minutes? What can I hammer through quickly? What's going on, chat? Brodius is doing stuff. Good morning from Vegas. Food trucks are getting encroached on by fast food chains. Damn. Get wetter soon, Brodius. Thoughts. Sphincters are like Nautilus camera lenses. Oh, I should have seen that earlier. I cannot do a camera. Oh my God, there's so many people in here. Oh my God, too many comments. Yeah, I should have done a camera lens. That is smart. That would have looked really good. And I think it's too late to do that now. But that would have been a very good suggestion. That is a very good suggestion, Kajan. I'm sorry I didn't see it. generic. I'm not going to Google sphincter on a Monday morning. Oh man, Hydra loves Tostitos. He's obsessed with Tostitos. Oh, generic's been here for a long time, Ishan. You don't have to, or Kajan, you don't have to welcome. Generic was literally the first message I got on this chat. So thank you, Generic, for riding through from the beginning. Is the painting part of the 24 challenge? I think you're probably supposed to paint the thing as part of the 24-hour challenge. I am not going to worry about it. I am just going to sculpt it, and that is going to be me. Because if I can get this whole thing done model-wise in 24 hours, I think that's sufficient. But I believe you're supposed to paint it in 24 hours, which is not going to be possible. Let me tell you. But maybe it'll be really fast to paint. Who knows? When I did the Screamer Killer with Eric's Hobby Workshop, I converted it over a span of like 2 weeks, and I painted it in under 24 hours. Like, not straight, but I painted it in basically a day. Oh, he's back now. Where is he? Oh, he's right here. Here's my Screamer Killer, recovered from Games Workshop Young and Lawrence. He's back now. Yeah, so maybe I can paint this real quick, but probably not in the 24 hours. That's a new. Okay, last of my putty. Plan this out. Get it done quick so I can take a break. I got 5 minutes to sculpt the detail. Fantastic. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm also running out of Nivea. That's a sign. Okay. Again, detail I sculpted earlier, totally covering over now. Woohoo! Okay. Well, if I get the whole mouth done in this first stream, that's cool. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream, go and take a lunch break, go swim, pick it back up probably around, I want to say 2:30, but knowing me, that probably means 3. If I get back earlier, I will start earlier, but I got to bike to the pool, swim. I don't think I'm going to be back. Stranger things have happened. Stream starting early for once? Man, who would have thunk it? Like 3 feels like a late time to start up again, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, now just gotta quickly bomb some detail in here. It's meshed in nice. Where's that tool? There's that tool I never use. Okay. I don't want to go till like 12 hours so I can be like, I'm half done. But that's also a little bit depressing because I feel like I'm not far enough to be half done. But if I go till 12 hours on that little counter up there, I will be late to swim. It's only open till 2. And I got a bike there. Okay, where's my favorite little guy? There's my favorite. Like my kid. Here's my favorite little guy. Hey, favorite little guy. Little weird. Again, top detail, not going to be that visible. Don't obsess. Get some detail on this thing, though. Oh, shit. Good enough? Good enough. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm not giving anyone nightmares. That guy can be pretty creepy. This work? Does work, sort of. No, I don't know. Maybe. Good eye. No, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Not happy with that. There's a hair in there. Fantastic. This is this detail pisses me off. Bumped my time lapse camera like a chump. Say I don't like it, go in and do basically the same thing with my finger. Fantastic. Mortadella. This is pissing me off. Just want it to be done. Just want this detail to be in. Again, not visible. Probably going to be covered by something later. So don't obsess. Do some random shit and hope for the best. Yeah, totally invisible. What can do this for me quick? This. Making me a little happier. That might be a solution. It's a solution, baby. If I can piss off some Pearl Jam fans. That is a damn fine music video. The Evolution. Do the Evolution? Is that what it's called? It's Evolution, baby. Peace. This is weird, but it doesn't matter because nobody is going to see it ever in their life. Hey, buddy, you like my singing? I'm going to say hi. Hi, Rip. Come here, Rip. Watch your head. Yeah, you're going to. No, it's a pain in the ass to get in here, isn't it? No one's gonna see this. Just friggin' make it happen. You just need it to be done. Good eye. I think that I will be happy if I do this later stage. Like that's the direction we're heading in. Curling this up. Don't know why, but I feel like it needs to happen. Details more than a little rough, but whatever. Dang it. What a mess. Oh, no one's going to see that, likely. Okay, cool. And this is I'm having a flashback pattern here. This is when I was trying to make my actual, like, mycetic spores to use on table for Tyranids. Doing a pattern like this. It's all coming back to me when you hold me like that. Okay, no Celine. She is a national treasure. Okay, I want to stop. It is 12:36. I am just late for what I said, so I was just doing all this random detail up here that probably no one's going to see. I'm going to soften it a bit with some finger action. It's okay. Not perfect, but it's fine. Got the, like, weird Tyranid beak sphincter in there, and I should have read Kajan's comment about making it like a camera lens, because that would have been really nice. But I got the membranes in front of it. It's... I need to breathe more. Heart is going. I'm holding my breath. I hold my breath when I concentrate. Anybody else do? Oh, shit. Oh, no, that's the camera. Anybody else do that when they're hobbying? Hold their breath when they concentrate? Right, so that is our mouth. I think I'm pretty much done the mouth now, I think. I don't want to go back and obsess about it later. So there is your gribbly alien birthing maw that no one's going to see because it's going to be pointed down at the ground, but whatever. If anyone endeavors to take a peek inside, they will have quite the sight to see. This is a piece of shitty putty that I need to get off this. There we go. So there's our mouth. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go do some exercise, walk my dog, and hopefully pick this back up at 3. Hopefully that's enough time, 3 o'clock Eastern. And I will schedule another stream for it so that you can look out for that. But this is the end of part 3, mostly just sculpting the inside of this mouth thing for 3 hours. Fantastic. I'm definitely going to finish this in 24 hours. Yeah, okay. Right. Oh, but the rest is just like boring, like terrain building. I just got to put some like walkways on something. This is going to be the most of the work. All right. There's a lot of stuff in this chat that I missed. Vampire expert, generic. I don't know what the heck's going on. Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Hydra was in there? Oh my Lord. Okay, we got Dwarfenage talking about a lot of vampires. I missed that. Rajan crochet tools is ball burnisher. I don't know if it's a hook would be useful. I would love to have a hook. Needlepoint. Oh, I probably have about Sam. Good to see you, Sam. Good to see you, Sam. I'm going to be back in a bit. Had a friend. Oh, I'm going to stop the timer. There we go. Now I'm getting to the point where I think I'm going to run out of time. This friend who visits Vegas says the cheapest time to go is around Christmas, less tourists. Oh, I could think about going to Vegas at Christmas. I will not buy drinks. I don't drink. Not a lot, at least. Oh my God, there's a lot of Vegas. Love the idea of using wires as sinews. Thanks, Simon. Glad you approve. Let's see you speed up your sculpting game. Sometimes quicker is better. Am I speeding up my game? I don't feel like I'm speeding up my game. Me too. The beauty of making it complicated to paint Hydra is that I just slap some contrast on it, and the contrast goes in all the crevices, and then it does the work for me. Bing, bang, boom. Have fun feeding the brood. Maybe we'll catch you later. Take care, Hydra. Sam. Okay, go for it painting. Hey, go for it painting. Thanks for joining. Sorry you hit the end. I'm going to pause for a bit. Start with the armor plates on the back in those 10 minutes. No, I can't start on armor plates in 10 minutes. It's nowhere near enough time. There's going to be some kind of like clause on the end of this thing. I don't know. Not going to put too much wreckage inside because it's just a pain in the butt, but I'm going to put some. Okay, break time, friends. Yes, thank you, Dwarfenage. Let's go on break now, and I will see you back here at either 3 or 3:30. So like 2.5 or 3 hours from now. I think that should give me enough time to do what I need to do. I will schedule another stream. Or do I have time? I might not have time to... Oh, I got to run. I think I have time to schedule another stream. I won't do like a flaky graphic for this one, though. But, oh, and I got to do my update video. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream now. Thank you all for being a part of it. And I will see you back again in about 3 hours' time. Adios for part 3. Look forward to part 4, where I get on the rest of the detailing of this big-ass Tyranid drop pod. But here's your money shot of what we got up to in this stream. Gross. Big old whale shark of doom. Keep seeing things I want to fix. Put it down. Be done. Putting it down. Being done. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.